Welcome to the Brad and Taylor Show. Today we have Nykole Pfaff.
You're listening to the Brad and Taylor Show, a podcast that inspires entrepreneurs to pursue their passions. We're sitting down with some of the best to learn how they got started and some lessons they learned along the way.
Hey, Nykole.
Hey, how are you guys?
We're good. How are you doing?
Great.
Awesome. Well, let's get the show started. So tell us a little bit about you. Like, what do you do?
Okay. So I am a real estate broker. I co-own the brokerage with Sarah. I've been doing it for about 9 years. And so I sell houses all day.
So when you were younger, is that what you had planned for your future, or what'd you have planned?
Absolutely not. I started out as a pre-med major, which is like very odd. Because I don't like needles. I don't like blood. So where I thought I was going with it is mind blowing. I ended up with a finance and econ degree because I think after I wasted my first 2 years being pre-med, I was like, not for me. My mother said I had to graduate from college. So I went in, I slapped my transcripts down and I said, find me my fastest way out of here. And she said the fastest way is finance and econ. So I said, all right, let's roll. So that's what I got my degree in. And then I sold cars for maybe a year when I came home. My mom's an accountant. So I lived with my mom for maybe 8-10 months. And I just remember going to work and I worked at Jim Waldron's in Davison. And I remember I was hustling and I didn't say anything to my mom. And my mom's an accountant. So she got my 1099 in the mail. So then she made me get my own place. I was making a good amount of money selling cars.
She saw the proof she needed.
You're not living here anymore. And then, like I said, she's an accountant. So she's always kind of giving me ideas and I knew I couldn't work for anybody else like that. And so I ended up getting into the We Buy Gold, Platinum, Silver, Diamonds, and Coins. So I did that for 4 or 5 years, which was a 4 or 5 year plan for me. And then I had no clue what I was going to do next. And I got into real estate and here we are.
I like it. Well, I think you mentioned before this, you got, we started, you just got a couple new buildings.
Yeah. So our first office, Sarah and I opened down in downtown Clarkston. Not much of a project for us. We kind of just moved right in. It was our first office and slowly but surely people started coming on over. We thought it was just going to be us and, our office manager, Alexis. And then I ended up getting an assistant because Alexis got too busy and we didn't think we were going to get this big. And so then we got bigger. I live in Fenton, so I've always wanted a Fenton office. So we got a Fenton building right on Leroy Street. We redid the whole thing. And then we've always had a Davison office. Well, we had a Davison office right after Clarkston. So excuse me on that one. But we ended up buying a building downtown Davison right after we bought Fenton.
Nice.
So hopefully I can finish those renovations here in the next week or so.
Sweet. I like it. So how many agents do you guys have now?
Yeah, how many people are on your team?
We are pressing 50.
Nice.
We're selective. We've turned away a fair amount of people, but we just like to keep our reputation. We don't want to hire everybody and anybody. Yep. And plus, we have a really, really great group of girls and guys. We're more women dominant. Sorry, guys. But we do accept men and we love them. But they just have to know there's lots of estrogen. But yeah, so we're selective, but we love who we have. We have a great team. I think all our offices are prospering and, our agents are growing, which is what everybody wants.
Do you have any goals for your team for the next, finishing off this year and going into the next one? Do you guys want to keep growing or kind of stay where you are for a little bit? What's your goal?
So Sarah, I always tell Sarah we're done opening offices after this. We're done opening offices. And I just told her, I said, hey, if I finish this one by this time, can I have one more office? And so I'm praying that she maybe lets me have a Grand Blanc office, because I have some girls in Grand Blanc that I would love to have under the brokerage name, and for them to run their teams under the brokerage. And they're powerful women, and a few men, but they're powerful women. So I would love to have them with the brokerage logo.
That's super exciting. Do you have an idea time frame when you want to maybe go that route, or do you just kind of, whenever it happens, it happens? Later. Right?
Maybe I'll send this to Sarah and make her listen to it.
It's on air now. It's recorded, it's Sarah.
It's public.
Yeah. I'm hoping like maybe in the next 2 months I can find something. We really do look for location. Our first Davison office, the one that we rented, was more of like that was probably our biggest spur of the moment, because we had a lot of girls that wanted to come over. So it was the biggest spur of the moment. So when we found them a building downtown, we couldn't pass it up. Yeah. This is probably going to be more of like, where do we want to be? What location, what part of Grand Blanc? Because there's so many different parts of it. Yeah. We're probably going to have to figure that part out and really just kind of sift through and see what's available and what works for us. Yeah. Our interior, I don't know if I have any pictures of our Fenton office. There's probably pictures on our Facebook. But that's more of like our design. Like everything is kind of, it's modern, but it's fun. It's got some warm woods in it. It's got some industrial feel to it. Like all our ceilings are sprayed black. You know, we try to keep it kind of similar. Yeah. So hopefully we can find something that we can do that too.
That's exciting.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah, because you guys are designing the whole interior yourself, right? So you guys.
Yeah. Well, like we buy like the two that we bought, we put money in them because they're great locations and they're great buildings. Because we have glass partitions up. We've got some warm woods that surround the top of the ceiling. Our ceilings are all black. Stuff like that. We've redone.
I'm gonna hop on Facebook and check it out. I'm gonna see if they're on there.
You'll have to. Yeah. It's our Fenton really cool. one. It's 1219 North Leroy Street. And then our Davison one, which literally, like I said, I'm headed there after this, is 205 East 2nd Street. It's right behind the Secretary of State. It's actually a really cool building.
Nice.
Awesome. Yeah, I'm going to have to check those out. Those sound really cool how you guys have it set up. So kind of backtracking here a little bit, take us to your first transaction. How did that go for you? Was it smooth? Was it everything you had hoped it would be? How did it go?
I don't even remember my first transaction, but I did. I started at America's Premier. So I'll give Tim Green and Karen Green a shout out. Great. Literally, I couldn't have done it without Karen. I love Tim. No offense, Timmy, but Karen probably taught me more than anybody could ever teach me. You know what I mean? If you don't get on somebody's bandwagon, and I know people hate doing that, giving up a little commission here or there or whatever, or, being somebody else's, you know what, you got to do it. You got to do it. And I did it for a while.
The word is a female dog, right? Is that the one you're going for?
Yeah. That's a good way to put it. But you have to do that. I mean, and props to her. I mean, she definitely taught me the ins and the outs, and there's a loophole to this and a loophole to that.
Yeah.
The way to do things. I don't even know my first transaction. My first transaction was probably somebody like, probably an investor. So I think it was Ray Oliver, and he bought a condo from me cash. He loved me. He bought lots of stuff from me. So yeah.
That's awesome.
It probably wasn't bad, but it wasn't bad because I had Karen with me. That's really truly right. It wasn't bad. I didn't have very many bad transactions. As long as you have somebody that's experienced with you and you're running stuff by them, you'll be good. Yeah, you have to have somebody with experience with you, though.
Yeah, they're awesome. I know them. I know we've talked to them a couple times too, so they're awesome. That's awesome. So what kind of advice did you get that may have stuck with you along the way, maybe when you started out or maybe a couple years ago, or something you give your agents now?
Well, now you can't. Now it's tough. It's getting really competitive now. So now, in my opinion, you probably need to start out on a team. It's hard to go out there and say, I
got this. You're like, I'm taking over. Yeah.
Yeah. And you're dealing with people's biggest assets. And I mean, if they want to use you, great. With my experience, they always, there's always something. I've had a lot of people buy because they think all they do is open doors. But I mean, a lot of things can be messed up like that. Inspection times, inspections. If you don't have the right inspections listed, possession time, closing dates, application date, anything can be messed up on a purchase agreement. So you still want to have somebody with experience. So I always tell them, if you're starting out, get on a team. It's not going to hurt you to be on a team for 12 months, learn the ropes, and then go out on your own, and the girls on my team, like on my specific team, they like being on a team because you get a lot of your paperwork taken over for you. You get a lot of leads, you get whatever. So that's really what they should provide you. Otherwise, I mean, if you're shaping them, then kudos to yourself. Hopefully they stay within your company and then you're fine.
Yeah. When you are going to hire on like new agents for your team, are you looking for somebody that maybe has had a couple years experience, or do you want someone with no experience at all and you want to teach them the ropes?
So usually Karen probably loved me because I had none. I had no experience. It was perfect. She could train me how she wanted to train me.
Mm-hmm.
Now being a broker owner and still an agent, I still do 20 million a year.
Yeah.
So I flip houses. So I don't necessarily have all the time in the world to give to a newbie unless they are super motivated. I've got one that's really motivated, and he probably calls me twice a day, and that he thinks he's bugging me, but he's not. And I might not answer right away, but I always answer his questions. I mean, I talked to him this morning already. I talked to him last night. I walked him through a purchase agreement yesterday. He just did a FSBO, for sale by owner, by himself. So he asks me all these things, which I'm okay with. I'd rather them do that. When they're really motivated like that, it makes it a lot easier. But if you've got to yank the motivation out of them, that's not for me. They might want to go somewhere where they have like a team lead, or they have maybe more of like that corporate setting where they have someone that can instruct them,
Awesome. And kind of switching it a little bit here too. What's the worst property you've been to over the years? Which one stands out the most?
Or showing.
Yeah, or showing. I know some of those can be interesting.
Oh man, I've been to a lot of flip houses. I've probably been to 20 houses, and I would say still to this day, the worst, I guess I'd have to just say a worst type of house is I can deal with mold. I can deal with a foundation issue. I can deal with anything. The number one thing that is disgusting is when you're unlocking the door and you can smell cat. I know that sounds really random, but I just did one last weekend.
Strong smell,
and I got 1 foot in the door, and my client was right behind me. And I turned around and I said, "Can you smell that?" And she is like, "Yeah, we don't have to go in." I'm serious. That is the worst smell. And I think it's just like people just don't, they have carpet and they don't take care of their cat, or clean up, and it's gross.
Yeah, the ammonia smell is strong.
Yeah. We call those a scratch and sniff houses.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy.
When you're at the front door. You're like,
oh yeah, there's a couple. You can smell animals, obviously. You can smell through the front door. Smoke, you can smell through the front door.
Oh yeah. Yep.
And I would say the other one, which is real random and not used that much anymore, is like the mothballs.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Like older people love putting those out. I'm always like, please don't put those out.
Yeah. They don't smell good.
No, nothing about them gets rid of any odor.
No.
Oh yeah.
That's crazy. So, what are some business books that you've read that maybe your favorite, or one that you recommend to agents?
I think I have a book right here on my desk. Maybe I don't. I read a lot of Gary Vee.
Yeah.
I'm real. Some people say, "Oh, you're like the female version." I'm nowhere near Gary Vee, but I really cuss like that. I am very out there. I'm very rough around the edges. I really don't care what people think. So I would say if you're going to read anything, I would read probably maybe something by him.
Sweet.
Just to get motivated, just to get
Yeah.
out there, you know, because it's not the easiest thing. It's a mind game to get motivated. And
Yeah.
this is I've been in it 9 years. I've been in sales since I was 20. So I've been in sales over a decade. And I'll tell you, I still have those days where I'm like, maybe I should just get a 9 to 5. I can't do this anymore.
Oh yeah.
You know, so like it's a mind game.
Yep.
So just stay motivated and get out of your head.
Yep, for sure. Awesome. Hey, how can people get a hold of you?
So if you are a huge social media person, you can totally just Google my name. My name pops up. I have a Facebook, and my Instagram is Not So Silent P, which is comical because I'm definitely the furthest thing from silent. And my P in my name is silent. So it's comical. And otherwise, they can always call my cell phone.
Sweet.
Call, text. It's literally as easy as that. It's always on me. If you don't get an immediate response, you'll get a response the same day. I mean,
Sweet.
I always respond. So, but yeah, you can always, my cell phone's everywhere. If you Googled my name, my everything pops up.
Sweet. I like it. Well, awesome. Hey, thanks for coming on here and sharing your story with us.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks for having me, guys.
Are these working?
All right.
Here we go.
Oh, there we go. I think they're working. Should we tell them?
Mine keeps falling. It doesn't like my voice.
What do we got to tell them?
Subscribe.
Subscribe. What do we got to point at it? Hey, I think there's a subscription button. Like
It might be there.
might be right there too,
Somewhere.
somewhere.
Find it. It's red.
Yeah, and it's
Red.
blue. It's green. I don't really know.
It's a color.
This mic isn't even attached. Did you plug these in? Well, I guess.
I wonder if they can hear us.
Yeah. I wonder if they hear us. Well, we should probably tell them if they can hear us. We should probably tell them also give us a 5-star review if they're listening on Apple. That'd be cool.
5
5-star
stars,
review.
guys.
Share it with everybody they can think of.
We won't take
But-
4 stars.
I mean, I don't even think these are on. I mean,
No, I don't think this is working.
This is not working.
Yeah.